The armorer is blaming the ammo guy, Seth Kenny, right?
That's right.
That's his name.
And his company PDC. I mean, everybody's going to go after everybody, and not.
But the armorer versus Seth Kenny is where the game is at, in my legal opinion.
Yes, and I mean, I say yes. There's not yes and no, because if Seth Kenny and PDC actually provided live ammunition to the set when they were not supposed to, it's conceivable that Seth Kenny and PDC provided live ammunition for a totally legitimate reason. I mean, you could use live ammunition for firing range off set. The issue
if they were mixed in with dummy rounds.
Well, that's where you get to like.
That's negligence per se. That is the definition of negligence.
That's why at the end of the day, there's going to have to be a criminal trial for this, and then the only question is going to be how do they apportion the responsibility, and what does the evidence bear out? And there's a concept in at least in Canadian law. I don't know if it's going to be the same under the U.S. law, but actus novus. Like, even if someone had done something negligent, did someone else do something further down the line that severed any responsibility that could have ever been attributed to the initial actor? I'm imagining people are going to say that, like, okay, Seth Kenny says, look, I sold you live rounds. Maybe he has a defense that it wasn't for the set. It should have never been there. If indeed it comes out that live ammunition was mixed with dummy rounds that were sold and delivered by PDC Seth Kenny, okay, well, then I definitely see a connection in law and fact. Then the issue is going to be, well, if nobody pulls the trigger, this never happens. Or if the armorer does their job properly, this never happens. So
why didn't you spot it? Wait, so I want to get to that. Yes, because everybody's doing one of these. Like, it was her, it was him.
It's the Spider-Man meme on the interwebs. Yeah, everybody else's fault.
I'm not responsible, and if I'm responsible, I'm the least responsible. Only give me 10% of it. So here's what she's going to say. Seth Kenny gave her a box or boxes of ammo that had both dummy rounds and live rounds in them, something she never expected and would never expect. And just for the audience, I've had this explained to me, the difference between a dummy round and a blank is a blank actually produces smoke and makes a sound, and it's sort of like an imitation bullet with like imitation things about it, like the smoke and so on. A dummy round is just like it's just a lookalike. It's just a pretty little lookalike. It doesn't do any of those fancy things. And these were supposed to be dummy rounds because you can see them in a Colt 45. All you needed to do was see the bullets in the gun so that you would believe this was a real loaded gun.
Yeah, well, that's it. The blanks have reduced projectile capacity. Dummies are pure prop. There's a number of distinctions which are not necessarily, you don't need to flesh them out in detail, and the gun aficionados definitely know the difference in detail. But if it turns out that live ammunition was mixed in with blanks, okay,
dummies,
blanks or dummies, there's still apparently it's not all that easy to tell the difference either. You have to look at the back of the bullets to see what color the
primers. You have to shake them. You have to shake them.
Even there,
yes,
though,
you do. Trust me, I have this from a very good source. This armorer was placed in the position in that truck of trying to decide whether these were, loading up this firearm, and she's claiming that she was given a box that had both in it. And the way that you would tell is you shake it, and it makes a noise. I can't remember.
I can understand
fake one. The fake one makes a noise or the real one makes a noise, but that's how you check. And you have to make sure everything going in there does what the dummy does, which is either they all made the noise or none of them made the noise. Forgive me for not knowing the difference.
Oh, the aficionados are going to be, yelling at their screens for both of us here. I can understand.
I don't care.
If they have reduced projectile capacity, there's going to be less gunpowder, so it will shake. Okay, there's a way to tell the difference. If that's going to be the defense, however, there should never have been live rounds on set to begin with. But then the question is, whose fault is that? Seth Kenny for delivering it? Armorers for accepting it? Producers for allowing it to happen? Everyone will share responsibility in this at the end of the day. The only question is apportionment and whether or not people can say, this is where the buck stops in terms of my responsibility. But no, Baldwin's lawsuit makes some allegations, which they're allegations, but look, pretty damning in terms of what was delivered to the set. But it's you have to see defenses. There could be the defense that someone ordered the live rounds for offset shooting, And so then Seth Kenny's off the hook. I mean, in theory.
But the reports are that what was in the gun, it was a mixture. You had the live round, and I think the rest of them were dummy. Yeah. So it's not like she loaded a gun with all live rounds from the wrong box that was on set for a legitimate purpose of some sort. You know, that's not possible. She loaded one dummy round, and one live round, and the rest of them dummy rounds. And they said that they retrieved the boxes from the armorer's truck, and they did find more of this combination. And so, and that's why she's pointing the finger at the ammo guy, Seth Kenny, saying, you gave me those boxes like that. You put me in a position to endanger everybody. And he's going to say, A, no, I didn't. And B, if I did, it's literally your job to tell the difference. That's why you're there, to be a fail-safe, just in case an accident like that happens.
Or something fell over and they, in a haste, put all the bullets back together in a box and mixed them up. I mean, that would be an actus novus. They were separate at the beginning. Something happened, and then they just put them all together in a box. There's conceivable defenses there. But true, at the end of the day, it's the armorer who's supposed to know the difference. Apparently, from Baldwin's lawsuit, there was also a live round in the rifle. So, but bottom line, what the hell is going on that set? And then bottom line, how the heck do you make a movie where you have a scene like this, but because of COVID protocol in the middle of the New Mexico desert, you don't allow the armorer to go in? Can you get policymakers involved in this? I mean, this is a question of policy that's having real life impact. But end of the day, and most people are of this opinion, the buck stops with the person who pulled the trigger of a prop gun pointed at a human. Now, he might have.
So before we get back to him, back to Alec. You got the ammo guy, Kenny. You got Hannah Gutierrez Reed, the armorer, who is the daughter. She's young, but she's the daughter of like the most respected armorer in all of Hollywood. And so presumably was well-trained, though she's very young, so we don't know for sure. And then from her, it goes to David Halls, the assistant director, who's the one who handed the weapon to Baldwin and yelled "cold gun," indicating that it did not contain live rounds. Now, this guy, he's also being sued. In the chain so far, to me, he's the least culpable. This guy doesn't know squat. The assistant director doesn't know. How is the armorer going to make a mistake of not knowing the difference between the dummy round and the live round? And the assistant director, whose job encompasses way more than the guns, he's supposed to know?
This is not to point fingers or try to get people in trouble, just conceptually. If Hall is not expected to know the difference and in fact does not know the difference, it could be argued he then has no business declaring a gun, a cold gun, a safe gun, a prop gun.
Okay.
And so by doing that,
we don't know what the standard is, what the industry standard.
Well, I don't know what the industry standard is, but I can tell you the legal standard is if he's reassuring someone of something that he has no business reassuring them of, there's definitely going to be some blame game in the attribution of responsibility. I
don't know if that's true. If the industry standard is the armorer gives you the gun and we all rely on the armorer, and really the armorer is the last line of defense, and that's what every movie set accepts, then I don't think this guy's he wouldn't be found liable for not knowing himself independently.
On the set now, as it goes, where the armorer is not allowed there, and then the obligation is passed on to the assistant director, who then makes an affirmative action to say cold gun and gives it to Alec. You know, at the end of the day, none of this should be happening, but they're all contributing in one way or another to an ultimately the death of a human.
You know, it would be a great gift this year to take away inflation for someone. How about the whole country while you're at it? While you can't control people's gas prices or home prices, you can stop meat inflation for yourself and everyone you know. And that would be a good one because meat tends to be pricey. How can you do it? A subscription to Good Ranchers during their Black Friday special. Beef prices are expected to go up another 15% in 2023, but Good Ranchers customers who use my code Megyn will experience zero inflation all year long. That's because every subscriber locks in their price for the life of their subscription. That's so good. You can also get their Black Friday offer right now. 2 free 12-ounce Black Angus New York strip steaks and 2 free pasture-raised chicken breasts with any order that uses my code MEGYN. Go to goodranchers.com to find the perfect box for you in their curated selection of America's best meat and seafood. Give the gift of zero inflation and America's best meat to yourself or someone else this season. Good Ranchers' award-winning service and quality are why they have over 7,000 five-star reviews. Visit goodranchers.com. Subscribe as well with my code Megyn at checkout to grab this Black Friday special, their best offer of the year. 2 Friday Black Angus steaks, 2 free pasture-raised chicken breasts, all with Good Ranchers, American meat delivered. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.